Good evening, everybody. Good evening. It's Tuesday, Sports Tuesday, where we're supporting parents of tweens and teens. So how is everyone doing? How was your day? How was your day? How did you guys spend your day? I hope you did everything that you needed to do today. So, okay, we won't spend too long. I just decided that we won't be spending too long. I'll give you guys a few tips and then we can get going. So I'll wait a little bit for Facebook to build the audience, and then we will get going. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Okay, good evening. Oh, hi, Sister Yetunde, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Good, good, good. Yetunde is with us today. She's one of our parent partners as well. Doing a fantastic job with youths and parents. Sister Anne, thank you so much, and Akumsumi, thank you so much as well. Thank you so much. I'm enjoying what you're doing. I'm gonna be watching you tomorrow. I've set my time up for Wednesday to watch you, so we're gonna be there watching you live. Okay, how are you guys doing? How was your day? Good. Oh, and Sis Carol as well. Oh, I'm so honored to have you. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Well, today, as I said at the beginning, when I'm not going to spend too long, I don't want to take too much of your time, but I thought, let me share with you guys some styles. I just wanted to talk about some styles in relating to how we communicate to our teenagers, because a lot of parents do complain about the time that they're having right now in terms of communicating with their teenagers, understanding their teenagers, and getting along with their teenagers. So I do like to share great tips on this, because I know that it works if you do it the right way. And as we always say, when we know better, we do better. Thank you so much. Uzumak, I can see you as well, all the way from the States. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. And Ronke Posh, thank you so much for joining. Good, good, good. Thank you guys for all of you that have joined. Thank you. And we will just get going. What I thought about this morning was I was kind of looking at a lot of times choices that our teenagers make, or our preteens. When I talk about teenagers, I'm referring to preteens and teens. How do you do Saturday? How do you do Saturday beautiful? How do I look beautiful? No, don't mind me. I just added some lip gloss just now. Don't worry. I wasn't looking like this before. I just put on some lip gloss to brighten it all up. Hi, Sasha. How you doing? Good, good, good. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. I thought today I would share. I thought today, this morning, when I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about, I said a lot of times our teenagers make choices between good and bad. And a lot of times those choices that they make really, to be honest, depends on how we relate to them, how we as parents communicate with them. I'm going to talk about 3 styles of communication that a lot of parents, you might find yourself in between 1 and 2 or something, but I'll talk about 3 styles and then kind of share with you what I think is the most effective style in communicating with our teenagers. And why I'm talking more about preteens and teens is that at this stage, they are really, really. I knew that's what you were saying, but I figured it out. Yeah, sometimes this correct thing can. Yeah, I know. Don't worry, I know. Yeah, because sometimes a lot of times our preteens and teenagers, they are actually at a point in their lives right now where they're looking for independence. Everybody, they're all striving. That's the kind of their goal, to be independent. They can't wait to grow up. They can't wait to, make choices by themselves. They can't wait to do a lot of things. So in a way, a lot of choices that they make between good and bad really depends on how we are communicating with them. And I'm going to share 3 styles that I know actually that happens between parents and teenagers, and then we can talk about what's really the effective way. Because sometimes you could get a results in a short term, but we're looking for long-term results, parents. I think that's what it is. You don't want them to just do something good just for the short term. You want them to do something good for the long term. So that's kind of where we're looking at. Hi, Judy. How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? And how's family? Good. Welcome on board. Welcome on board. I'm excited. Okay, good, good. So the first style I was going to talk about, these are communication styles with parents. So parents and teenagers, communication styles. The first style is are you, actually, let's ask the question. Are you a do it or else parent? So are you you do it or else you have some consequences. Is that the way you relate with your teenagers, or do you? That's one way. People saying, "Oh, are you a do it or else?" You do it or else. In that kind of manner, do it or else. Are you that type of parent? Is that your style of communication? The second one is, are you actually kind of a bribing kind of parent? So you're always having something as a reward for everything that they do. You give them rewards. You want them to do well in school, so you're rewarding them. You want them to make right choice, so you're rewarding them. Are you that kind of parent that just constantly rewards your children in terms of the choices that they make? And the third one is, are you motivating? Are you motivating? Are you a parent that motivates? Because sometimes, a lot of times, with our parents. Oh, you're watching with your daughter, Jane. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So you said sometimes. Okay, cool. So, and that's what I said at the beginning, that sometimes we find ourselves in between one of these styles. It could be that do it or else, or it could be that bribing kind of style of communication, or it could be that kind of motivating style of communication. You might definitely find yourself amongst those three. But to be honest, she's 12. Okay, a preteen. Okay, good. Yep, they're getting there. They're getting there. So the thing about being, if you want to have a very, very effective communication style with your child, your son, your pre-teen, or your teenager, you have to make sure that your communication with them is open. You have to be able to make sure that you're creating such an atmosphere that they're able to come out and talk to you. And also, when you're talking to them, when you're communicating with them, ask them very open questions. Oh, Daddy is listening as well. Oh, wow. 11 next month. Fantastic. Hi, Daddy. How you doing? Good. So what kind of questions are you asking them? Oh, how was your day in school? Or tell them, instead of asking them, how was your day? Because typically a lot of them are just going to say it was fine. And that's the end. Instead of asking them, how was your day? Just tell me about your day in school. So you're kind of forcing them to actually talk about it. Instead of saying, how was your day? Tell me about your day. Or if they have problems or they're worried, tell me about how you feel. Not how you feeling. Of course, they're going to say, I'm fine, thank you. That's it. And go. Or some of them will say, fine. All right. All right. Or just nod their heads. But you've got to make the conversation very open-ended so that you're inviting them to actually talk to you. Tell me about your day. Tell me what is bothering you. Tell me how this person treated you. If he's talking about someone that's treated him badly, or she's saying something about someone, tell me about it. So you're kind of inviting them in. And a lot of times our teenagers, like all of us, they want to feel understood. They want to feel that they've been heard. So if you don't give them that opportunity to feel that they've been heard, they back off. They would literally back off. And that's where we don't want them to be. We don't want them to be in those situations where they literally back off. We want them to be invited in. We want them to know that they are safe to talk to us. That's where we want our teenagers to get to. Because even though we say, a lot of times their friends are very big influences on them, we have a massive influence on them as well. We have a big influence, but the key is, do we use that influence that we have? And do we use it in the right way? And that's where this style of communication comes into play. That's where this style, because if you're using the right style at the right time, you will influence them more than their friends. Do you guys agree with me? Ronke Posh, what do you think? Yetunde as well, what do you guys think? This is, in what I've just said now, your style, especially you're using the style at the right time, it will actually influence your teenagers more than their friends will influence them. That's what I think. That's what I know, honestly speaking. But the only problem that happens with parents and teenagers is that we don't use the right style at the right time. And that's where the conflict happens. That's where the decisions are made. That's where teenagers are saying, you know what, oh no, I'm going to hang out with my friend and tell my friend more than I'm going to tell my parents. It's a tricky thing for us as parents, honestly, because sometimes you need to be in that position where you're saying, you better do this or else. And then sometimes you need to be in that situation where you're saying, come on in, come and talk to me. What is going on? One of the reasons why a lot of teenagers and preteens find it hard to actually confide in their parents is because their parents are very judgmental. Hey Brenda, how you doing? Good, good, good. How you doing? Yes, it's very strong. Oh yes, it's very strong. And Ronke Posh, very true. Peer pressure is very strong, and that's why, as parents, we need to have that continuous communication with them, continuous. And it's not in a accusing kind of way. You're asking them what's going on in this day and age in school. I've not been in school for such a long time. What is actually going on? Fill me in. That's the kind of thing I chat with my boys. Fill me in, because I want to know what's actually going on. So I start those kind of conversations like that, so that they know that I'm not here to judge them. I'm just here to listen. And to be honest, I get a lot of information. I get a lot of information. I do get a lot of information. Yes. Yes, exactly. Use open questions. Yes, exactly. Use them. You're doing great, Brenda. Fantastic. Jane says she uses open-ended questions. It's very important, just so that you let them in. They want to talk with you, but you know what teenagers are like. They want to like, what's she gonna tell me now? What is he gonna say now? And then they'll back off. But if you invite them in, they will say more. They may not say more at the beginning, but you just have to be patient enough to get them to say more. Tell me about school. Tell me about how you feel. Just tell me what's going on. And make sure that you're not judgmental in these conversations. Because the minute you become judgmental in these conversations, they will shut down. And shut down for such a long time. You might even need an outside intervention to come and get them to actually break up from that mold of shutting down. So try and make sure that you're not judgmental in your communication with your preteens and teenagers. They're looking out for that. They're like, okay, is she going to tell me off? Is she going to say this? Is she going to refer back to the last time I did something wrong? What is she? They're already prepared. They're already on the defense. They're already on the defense. So it's important that we bring our styles and actually be conscious of those styles, because those styles do exist. But if you're not conscious of them, then you won't know how to tap it in. Let's say your child comes out from school and they're just frowning their face and not saying a proper hello to you. How are you going to deal with that? Are you going to say, come back here? Why have you not said hello? Are you going to start that? Or are you going to say, what's going on? You don't look normal today. What's going on? Where's that cheerful guy that I know? Where's that cheerful lady that I know? Keep going, girl. Yesterday, okay, thank you. Yesterday, so you've got to kind of understand, because something could have happened on the train, on their way back home. Something could have happened that made them kind of shut down as they walked into the house. So rather than you just get at them and judge them and like, oh, why didn't you greet? Why didn't you do this? Just calm down a bit and find out what is actually going on. And a lot of times, sorry, let me take this off, the notification. And a lot of times when you do that, you get to actually hear from them what actually did happen in school. They're under a lot of pressure, as Ronke Posh said. They're under the amount of pressure that they're under. I mean, we might look at it as if it's no big deal, but they're under a lot of pressure. And those pressures can actually react to those pressures in different kind of ways. Ask if they're okay and what's going on. Exactly. Before, so that's what brings them to actually talk to you more. If they come in and all you're doing is, oh, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? They're just like, you know what? She's not going to listen, so there's no point. So it's important that because we need them to talk to us in this day and age. In this day and age, we need them to talk to us more often. Even the boys. I know boys don't do a lot of talking a lot, but we need them to talk. We need them to talk to us. My boys, he just came back. One of my sons, 14-year-old, just came back. And we were talking about, okay, his grades. He got some very good grades in school. So I was almost tempted to say, okay, but why didn't you get the highest? And he was saying, but that's the highest that we got in class. But I didn't want to start going that way. You know what I mean? I had to start saying, okay, that's fantastic. Okay, when are you guys going to have your next tests? And he said, okay, they're going to have it in, I don't know, I can't remember what the actual time he said. Did he say after Easter or just before the Easter break? And so we get talking that way. And then we talk about the sports. I do a lot of talking about their sports, because through their sports, I can actually get more information about other things as well. So always make sure that what are they interested in? It's important. What are they? If he says, yes, it's important to ask them about their day. And remember, tell them to tell you about their day, not just say, how was your day? Let them tell me about your day. That works. That works. So I go through sports in talking with my son, and with my daughter, I can talk with my daughter. I can bring out any topic with my daughter at any time. She's always ready to talk. But with the boys, go to that their interest. What is it? What is it that they're interested in? Go in that area, and then from there your conversation opens up, and you see yourself talk for such a long time with them. So it's very, very important. I think that's kind of what I want to emphasize on today. Your style of communication. I don't be if you don't do it or else, always make sure that you try to understand them. They want to be understood. They want to be heard. So the more you open up that conversation with them, the more they will open up back to you as well. So it's so important. I think those were the points I had. And also in terms of the bribing. Okay, see, sometimes, yes, it's good that we reward our children with things. But if you make it constantly where you're rewarding them for everything that they do, then what happens when those rewards are not there? That's the question. What happens when those rewards are not there? And so that's why it's key that, yes, you can reward them every now and then, but don't make rewarding such an everyday thing where, they do one thing, you reward them. If they do something extra, then you can reward them. But make sure that you're not rewarding them for everything that they do. Because guess what will happen? You just be bringing up kids who just expect those rewards. And when they go out there as they become adults, when they go out there into the workforce, into the business places, they won't be rewarded every time. And what would happen at that point? So it's important that we kind of take back on, just step a little way, step back on those constant rewards, You can reward them by verbally affirming them, verbally saying, you know what, you did an amazing job. Well done. Oh, I'm so proud of you. But not by giving them things every time that they do stuff. That way you're kind of taking a risk with them actually, and letting they actually grow up to feel so entitled to rewards every time they make a decision. And that's not really realistic, is it? So in terms of bribery, in terms of motivating our teens, for me personally, I always talk about their future when I'm talking to them about things that they shouldn't get involved in. Rather than saying, oh, you better not do this, you better not do that, you better not do this, I'm always going back to their future. Kenny, you are going to be a fantastic guy in the future. You are going to be famous. You're going to be a great guy. You're going to be a role model. So when I start telling them about what they're going to be, then of course these choices here is going to clash with what they're going to be. Do you see what I'm talking about? These choices that they're going to make is going to clash with the future person that you've called them out to be. Tell your daughter she's going to be great. She's going to be a great queen, a great person that people are going to look up to. That's who she's going to be. Tell your son he's going to impact lives. That is what he's going to do. He's going to, so for someone that is going to impact lives, if the friends are coming to him and saying, oh, try and smoke this, he's going to be like, that doesn't tie in with what I'm going to be. So constantly, I think I do this nearly every day, honestly, constantly remind them of who they are going to be. We already know it in our hearts. Why don't we tell them so that they have it in their brains? The more you tell somebody something, the more I heard somebody say this fact that a baby only knows his or her name by us constantly calling him or her. So that's the same way we talk, and we affirm our teens, we affirm our preteens, keep telling them what they're going to be in the future. You don't necessarily need to know the career, but things like they're going to be great, they're going to be a role model, they're going to be this. I can see, oh wow, sometimes I can be very dramatic. I'm like, whoo, what I see. Oh, I wish you could see what I see. Just to make it more believable. I'm always like, wow, I wish you can see what I see. If you see what I see, so those are the kind of, that's the way I actually tell them, just because I need it to really sink into their heads that they're going to be great individuals, that they're going to be mighty in the land. I like to drum it into them, because when you drum it into them, then you're not there in school when they're making choices. You're not there outside on the streets when they're making choices. So these words that you have with them, these words that you are affirming on them, these words that you keep telling them all the time, those are the words that will keep ringing in their minds. And of course with prayers as well, you keep praying for them, for God to protect them and give them wisdom to make the right choices. But also what we're telling them, the life we're speaking to them. Speak life words to them. Keep reminding them of who they are and of who they're going to be, so that when they make those choices, they'll remember. Sometimes I'm not telling you they're not going to make some bad choices. I'm not saying that. Of course, they're going to make bad choices. But that's why we've spoken about when they make mistakes as well. How do you actually deal with them? So honestly speaking, I think that's kind of where I am coming from in terms of our style of speaking to our teenagers and our preteens. It's so, so important. The moment you tweak your style, the moment you adjust your style, honestly, tell me about it. You will see differences. You will see hi T, how are you doing? Good. You will see differences. Yetunde agrees with me as well, isn't it? You would see differences. Yetunde, your book is called The Youth Evolution, isn't it? Yetunde has got a book. Yetunde Adeshile, she's got a book called The Youth Evolution. It's a great book. I think I've got it here. Yeah, The Youth Evolution. Yeah, that's Yetunde's book. Yep. The Youth Evolution. So yeah, it's great. It's great. Yetunde, you've got this on Amazon, haven't you? You've got it on Amazon, haven't you? Good. Yetunde's got this on Amazon. The Youth Evolution by Yetunde Adeshile. Yeah. So good. Thanks for joining as well, Yetunde. She works with youths as well as parents. So we both speak the same language. Yeah. So that's kind of what I was going to share with us today. The 3 styles. Are you the kind of parent that's, are you like are you a do it or else kind of parent? Or are you, do you bribe your children into doing things? Or do you motivate them? Do you motivate them and speak life to them? Those are the kind of things that you need to think about whenever you're having these communications with your children. Yes, you're with me tonight. Thank you so much, Yetunde. Thank you so much. So create those dialogues, parents. Create those open dialogues that your kids can come to you and talk to you. Make sure you listen. Listening is key. I talked about listening in my Facebook group today. I talked about listening. Listening is such a powerful tool. Listening opens the door for people to talk to you. Listening opens the door for people to trust you, including your children. Listening, they just need to know that you're listening. And the signs that you can give them that you're listening is that you can also always repeat what they've told you. So you're almost reflecting on what they've said. So they tell you something, you say, oh, so you're saying this. Just so that they know that you've heard them. Because sometimes they could be talking and you're busy doing other things. So you want to just come back to that moment and let them see that you understood them. Let them see that you heard them. Let them see that their voices were heard. When you can do that, you're opening up dialogue. You're opening up the trust that you want your teenagers to have with you. Because we want them, that's our desire. We want them to trust us. We want them to come to us when they've got any issues and when they've got any problems. But we have to play our parts. It's not just about the buying of things. We have to play our parts and listen. We have to play our parts and understand. We have to play our parts and use the right style of communication whenever we're communicating to our preteens and teens, and of course to our children as well. I know I focus more on preteens and teens, but of course to your children. The earlier you start with the younger ones, then the better it is and the easier it becomes as they become teens. Because sometimes you hear people say, oh wow, the teenage years is the most horrible. No, it's not. It's not. It all depends on how you deal with it. It all depends on what you're willing to change as they become teenagers. Because parents, we cannot be the same parents to them that we were when they were 8 years old or when they were 7. As they grow, we grow as well. As they grow, we change as well. We have to go with the time. I concur, as when they feel you are not, they'll keep quiet. Exactly, Sister Anne, exactly. Listening is vital with our children in general. Exactly. With all our children in general, definitely. I concur as well. So it's so important that we do that, parents. Always be open to grow. Always be open to learn new things in parenting. Nobody knows it all. I'm still learning. We are all still learning. We are all still learning. And they're very, very, you guys already are part of lots of fantastic groups that they're out there. Ronke Posh has her parent right group. Shola as well has a page and she's got a parent group as well called Raising Successful Children. And then I've also got a parent group called Parents Inspiring Parents, because it's all about just inspiring. So I always forget to talk about that, but I've also got that as well. Parents Inspiring Parents. Well, we just inspire each other and just keep moving, because as I said, nobody knows it all. And that's why I would continue to share things that I come across, problems that I hear about, issues that parents discuss with me as well. Of course, not I won't directly say exactly what it was, but I would give that as a general. If I hear problems that I see that a lot of parents are going with their teenagers and stuff, those are the kind of topic areas that I would love to discuss with you, to kind of share tips that we can use and actually get this life going, because their teenage life is just a very short time. Before you know it, they're grown-up adults and they're going to go out there and make their own choices. So let's make the best use of this time. Let's make the best use of this time. You've got to go. I know I've got to go as well. 9:30. I've got to go as well, because as I said, I don't like to make it too long. But you guys go out there and be the best that you can be. That's key. I shared a video with our teenagers on Sunday on the Chatting with Chichi show, and just giving them tips, and it was all about doing your best. Being your best in everything that you do, planning. Go back to my timeline and catch the video if you didn't get to watch the video on Sunday. I was talking directly to them, and I've gotten loads of fantastic feedback from that video. So I might be doing that more often, because it was quite a very, very good feedback I got from them. So thank you so much, parents. Thank you, Yetunde, for joining. Yetunde is part of our parent partners. Ronke Posh is as well part of our parent partners. Thank you so much for joining. Shola couldn't make it, and I don't think Pauline could make it as well today, but that's fine. They'll catch up with us next week, Tuesday. If you've got any topic areas that you are facing right now with your teenagers and your preteens, and you want us to talk about them, share them in the comment box, or you can inbox me and we can talk more about issues that are going on and solutions, really, because to be honest, it's all about finding the right solutions so that you live a healthier life. When you have a good relationship with your teens and your preteens and your children in general, then life is better for you. When you're doing your business, you know that at least you're at peace with your children. When you're in your career, when you're doing things in life that you're doing, your dreams, when you're chasing your dreams, you know that at least your relationship with your children is actually going strong. There is nothing like that. When you see a parent who doesn't have a good relationship with their teenagers, or with their children in general, it can be very, very heartbreaking. So it's something that we should continuously stay open to learn more and do more, because when we know better, we will do better. Thank you so much, guys. Love you guys. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me on Sports Tuesday, and I'll be catching up with you again next Tuesday. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you that have turned up to watch this live, and also for everyone that's going to be watching it in watching the replay. Had to dip out. Daddy hung on. Okay, good. Well done. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. Love you guys, and I'm rooting for you all the way. Have a good night. See you later, guys. Bye. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.